mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Jones. And he's got some space here. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed. Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
On second down, it's Jones. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. To throw, it's Rodgers. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. Rohrwasser's kick is good. Well, Charles, the NFL record is 66 yards. That was 5 shy of that, but only a handful of guys have ever connected from 61 or deeper, and he can add his name to the list.
Yeah, more and more guys are trying it. That doesn't mean the success rate has gone up. That is a long kick. Guaranteed, when he turns on his phone after the game, a ton of congratulatory texts will be awaiting him.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Here's Walker to start the drive. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Sticking with Walker on second down. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. Here's Bridgewater. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the... And oh, now it's out. Langford loses the football. And the Packers pick it up. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. So the big gain through the air, but scratch it all off because he could not hang on to the football.
And you have to like what they did on defense here. They didn't give up on the play. Big yardage given up, but they still battled all the way to the end and helped force a turnover.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go again to Jones. 43 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage. Been waiting all day long.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
He sets to fire deep. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, trying to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit, because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit, in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And this will be a Packers first down as the tackle made just shy of the 30. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Now Rodgers That is caught. It's the tight end, Tunyon. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 23 yards on the play.
Well, normally you see three tight ends in a formation. You have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or two towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
3-0 after one on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And able to find Alan Lazard. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess. That allows for extra yardage on the return.
That one 28 yards on the ground.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities. Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd down, it's Walker. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Throwing, Bridgewater. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. So a couple of 1st downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Tariq Woolen picks it. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
On the counter, it's Walker. And some room to work. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 63 yards rushing for him in this first half, as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Back to Walker on 1st down. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Out to his left. This is caught. Touchdown, Seahawks. From 17 yards out. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they have no answer for that right there.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Two minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. This is Lazard with a catch out left. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. A first down throw for Bridgewater. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Here's Bridgewater. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
They'll throw again. Bridgewater. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks will extend their lead here just before halftime. Myers connects on the PAT, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively. And my goodness, another interception. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
That's tremendous field position that they were given following the turnover, but they've still got work to do to get to field goal range, and the coverage we're seeing isn't going to make it easy.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Final play of the half, Bridgewater. This complete to Langford. And they'll work this down inside the 30. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
So a nightmare start to the drive as they're already staring at 2nd and long. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. A nice play design there with a touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And a penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. Rodgers now on 1st down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Tanner Muse, he's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Here's Rodgers. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. Rohrwasser's kick is good. Wow, I mean, it's so rare to even see one attempted from that distance, CD, let alone converted, but he came through with confidence and matches what was Tom Dempsey's 43-year NFL record at one point of 63 yards.
Yeah, I can still see that highlight of Dempsey making that kick, and nowadays we see it a little bit differently because, remember, Dempsey was a straight-on kicker. But these guys nowadays, the range keeps increasing, and they keep putting it through the posts.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. I would say they went 3 and out last time, but actually they didn't even get to 3 and out. Still a strange decision to us here in the booth.
Yeah, let's hope they don't go 1 and out, but maybe, possibly, let's try and think with them here. Try to play field position maybe, turn the ball over, put it in the hands of their defense. Who knows?
You're a nice man. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Straight ahead, Walker. And the defense closes quickly there, and he'll get maybe a yard to the 33. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try the right side with Jones. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On now is the Packers punter, standing just about on his own goal line. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right?
And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And some room to roam now. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker, 33 yards. And the Seahawks will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is up to 15 now. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Rodgers' throw complete here on target to Tunyon. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy.
And now here is another interception. And the Seahawks are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You got to go compete for the ball.
And he's got it. Caught in the end down of the night. And the Seahawks continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
1 quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Now it's Rodgers. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers. And the Seahawks are going to get the football back at their own 17. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Bridgewater. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
It certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
Yeah, still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. Now Rodgers. He's got Watson. It's caught. Touchdown, Packers. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they are looking good. A 2-score lead here in this fourth quarter as they hope to capture a spot in the divisional round next weekend. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. To throw, Bridgewater. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Packers are right back in this football game. Boy, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
58, right over there. Mike, 58, right there.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Bridgewater. Catch is made by Metcalf. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Here's Walker. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Again, Walker. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 3rd and goal for Bridgewater. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Seahawks have put this one to bed here in the 4th quarter. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And he's got it inside the 10. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the foot.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Romeo Doubs from 3 yards out. And the Packers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So now Rodgers will lead the Packers up to go for 2. They're going to run for it with Jones. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Up the middle, here's Walker. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of it?
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And into the end zone, it's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. They're going to run for it with Jones. And it's incomplete. It was an exercise in futility anyway. It doesn't affect the final outcome, and this one's over. Getting into the playoffs is one thing. Now they get to move on. Just 8 teams left.
The dream stays alive.